She was ready to eat as soon as she came out. I mean, she came out bobbing her head and sucking her hand. She was ready to go.
Your baby was born to breastfeed, and so were you. Like generations of women before you, your body has the amazing natural ability to nourish and protect your baby.
He has never been sick before. That's me and my doing.
Learning to breastfeed is like learning anything new. It takes time, patience, and practice before it becomes second nature.
When I'm breastfeeding her, it just feels really natural, and I wasn't really expecting that.
I did not expect the bond. I had heard about it, but I did not expect it to be so strong or so emotional.
This video will show you what to expect in the first weeks so that you and your baby can share this special breastfeeding bond.
Oh, baby.
Breastfeeding is an amazing process. Late in pregnancy, your breasts make small amounts of a thick, very nutritious milk called colostrum. This special milk is easy to digest, making it the perfect first food for your new baby. In the first few days after birth, your colostrum changes to mature milk. Mature milk is more plentiful and is designed to help your baby grow. Let's take a closer look at how your body creates this perfect food for your baby. Inside a woman's breasts are milk-making glands called alveoli. This is where your milk is made and stored. When your baby latches onto your breast and starts to suck, your brain sends hormones to the alveoli. Prolactin tells the alveoli to make milk, and oxytocin tells the alveoli to release milk. This release of milk is called the letdown reflex and can take a minute or two to occur. During letdown, you may feel a tingling sensation or nothing at all. Once the alveoli release the milk, it travels through the milk ducts to your nipple. The milk comes out of the nipple openings into your baby's mouth. The more milk he takes, the more milk your body makes. It's a natural balancing act. Your milk naturally changes to meet your baby's needs. If you or your baby are exposed to a virus, antibodies in your milk protect your baby. If your baby is born prematurely, your early milk supports his young digestive system. If you deliver twins, you can make enough milk to feed both babies. No other substance can provide the right mix of vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins to meet the needs of your baby as she grows. Because mother's milk is so nutritious and protective, breastfeeding babies tend to grow up healthier. Babies who are not breastfed risk having more ear infections, respiratory illnesses, diarrhea, obesity, and are at a higher risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Breastfeeding is important for mothers, too.
Are you really hungry?
The longer a woman breastfeeds, the more protection she has against developing heart disease, diabetes, and thyroid, ovarian, and breast cancer.
Is it funny?
Plus, breastfeeding moms usually lose most of their pregnancy weight faster. And don't forget the strong emotional connection that comes with the close contact you get from breastfeeding your baby. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that for the first 6 months, you feed your baby only breast milk and nothing else. No formula, water, juice, or solid foods, including rice cereal. They also recommend that you continue to breastfeed for at least 12 months, even after your baby starts eating solids, and as long as you both would like after that. The longer you breastfeed, the better for you and your baby. Parents, from the beginning, there are a few things you can do to help get breastfeeding off to the best start. When you arrive at the hospital, let the staff know that you will be breastfeeding. Tell them that you don't want pacifiers or formula given to your baby since they can cause problems with breastfeeding. Also, let them know that you want your baby put directly on your chest, skin to skin, right after birth and until the first feeding. This immediate skin-to-skin contact is recommended because it helps your baby breastfeed better and for a longer period of time. It's a fact that holding your baby skin-to-skin with no clothing or sheets between you gets breastfeeding off to a great start.
Skin to skin was great. I feel like it was the right thing to do. You know, they needed that bond, that instantaneous bond. So, I mean, I got my turn. I got my skin to skin time.
Skin-to-skin contact triggers the hormones that support breastfeeding. It also helps babies latch on and breastfeed sooner, which leads to a healthy milk supply. Skin-to-skin keeps your baby warm and regulates his blood sugar level so he tends to cry less and sleep better. It may even impact his future brain and emotional development. If you have a cesarean birth, ask to have your baby put skin to skin with you as soon as possible, either on your or your partner's chest or held cheek to cheek with you. Skin to skin time is great at home too, because it's calming for moms, dads, and babies. When you hold your baby skin to skin, lay back and relax with her close to your breast. She may move to latch on by herself, or you can help her. Another way to get breastfeeding off to the best start is to keep your baby in the same room as you during your entire stay at the hospital and when you get home. This will help you learn her hunger signs and how to respond to her needs. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that healthy, full-term babies avoid pacifiers until breastfeeding is well established and they are at least 3 to 4 weeks old. Pacifiers and other artificial nipples take time away from your baby being at the breast, which could decrease your milk supply. Babies can also be comforted by breastfeeding. If there is a medical need to supplement, your nurse or a breastfeeding specialist called a lactation consultant can help. She can show you how to express and feed your baby your milk or milk from a milk bank instead of giving him formula. This will protect your milk supply and nourish your baby while you find a solution.
What I would do when you go home is skin to skin as much as possible.
The most important part of breastfeeding is knowing that your baby has a deep, effective latch. An effective latch allows your baby to get more milk and you to be more comfortable. Many babies latch on easily when mom is leaning back and relaxed with her baby on her torso.
Did you see at the beginning? And she just self-attached. She did very well.
When you breastfeed in a more upright position, you may need to help your baby get a deep latch. Lean back slightly so you are relaxed and comfortable. Hold your baby close into your body with her tummy facing yours. Place your baby so her nose is right across from your nipple. Keep your hand behind the areola, the dark area around your nipple. You can interest her with a drop of expressed milk. Tickle her upper lip. When she opens her mouth wide like a yawn, pull her in quick and close. This animation shows what a deep, effective latch looks like. With his mouth open wide, the baby comes to the breast chin first, with his head tilted back. He latches on so that the nipple is drawn far inside his mouth, all the way to the soft palate, which is very flexible. Here, your nipple can expand and the milk can flow without causing pain. With his tongue above his lower lip and under the breast, he sucks quickly, which helps trigger the letdown reflex. When the milk starts flowing, his sucking becomes deeper and stronger. He settles into a rhythm of suck and swallow. A deep, effective latch allows your baby to receive more milk and you to be more comfortable. With a shallow latch, however, the nipple is not far enough inside the baby's mouth. When it only reaches the hard palate in the front of baby's mouth, the nipple gets pinched. This can damage the nipple and result in your baby getting less milk. When you breastfeed, look for signs of an effective latch. Your baby's mouth is open wide, her lips are flared outward, and her chin is pressed into the breast. You should be able to see more areola, the dark skin around your nipple, above her mouth than below. Your baby's ear and jaw should move when she sucks. You'll feel a strong tug that's not painful. And you may be able to see and hear her swallowing. With an ineffective latch, only the nipple or a small amount of the breast is in the baby's mouth. You may hear clicking or smacking sounds, and you may feel nipple pain after your baby latches on.
And then when she opens up her mouth wide, then you can just bring her in nice and quick.
In the early days, it may take some time and practice for your baby to latch on correctly. If you need to relatch, break the suction gently to protect your nipples by pushing in on your baby's cheek or inserting a clean finger into the side of her mouth. Be patient with yourself and your baby. The more she breastfeeds, the better she'll get at latching on. If you have problems breastfeeding, talk to your nurse or a lactation consultant. They can help find the cause and a solution.
Relax your shoulder. Perfect.
There are many breastfeeding positions for moms and babies. The main thing is to relax and be as comfortable as possible. Over time, you'll find what works best for you and your baby. In a laid-back position, you recline comfortably at a 45-degree angle. Place your baby across your stomach with her cheek near or on your breast so she can find your nipple and latch on. Use pillows to keep you comfortable. If needed, support your baby's head with your arm and her feet against your thigh, your arm, or the bed. If you had a cesarean, you can position her in a way that avoids your incision. The cross-cradle position is also helpful for new moms and babies. Lean back a little and use a pillow or a stool if it makes you feel more comfortable. Support her back and neck with your hand. If it helps, you can hold your breast with your other hand. With the football position, hold your baby close in to the side of your body, like a football. Use pillows to support your body as needed. This position lets you clearly see how your baby is latching on. This hold can be useful if you have large breasts, a premature baby, a cesarean birth, or twins. In the side-lying position, you and your baby lie on your sides, tummy to tummy. It may take a couple of tries, but once you learn how, this position is great for resting and nursing. Remember to keep all loose blankets and pillows away from the baby. Finally, when your baby has more neck strength, you can use the cradle hold, which supports your baby's head in the crook of your arm. Over time, you'll find your favorite positions, and so will she. Just remember to be as relaxed as possible and hold your baby in close to your body so she can get a deep, effective latch.
Pretty girl.
Breastfeeding is baby-led. That means there's no set schedule. Just feed your baby when he's hungry, day or night. In the early weeks, that should be at least 8 to 12 feedings in each 24-hour period, including nighttime. It's natural that your newborn needs to eat often in the beginning.
My baby was like waking up every hour, so I was like, what is wrong with my baby? Maybe she's not getting enough milk. Maybe I don't have milk. I'm not producing milk. So I called my nurse and she told me that it was completely fine. And again, it was, for comfort as well.
Your newborn eats often because the size of his stomach can only hold very small amounts of milk at each feeding. On day 1, his stomach can only hold as much milk as would fill a shooter marble. By day 3, his stomach can hold as much as would fill a ping pong ball. By day 10, his stomach can hold as much as would fill a large egg. As babies grow, they are able to take in more at each feeding. You can tell it's time to feed your baby by watching for signs that she's hungry. An early sign of hunger is fidgeting. She's probably going to be ready for her next meal soon. As your baby gets hungrier, you'll see other signs of hunger. You might see her make a sucking motion with her tongue and mouth. Open her mouth when it's touched. Bring her hand to her mouth. Or move her legs like she's crawling. You may see her rooting reflex when she turns her mouth toward your chest, looking for a breast. A hungry baby will cry as a last resort. It can be hard for a crying baby to latch, so feed your baby when you see her early signs of hunger. You can also pay attention to your own body to know when it's time to feed your baby. When your breasts feel full, it's probably time to nurse. Once you are comfortable and your baby has a good latch, feed her for as long as she is actively sucking. When she releases the breast or her sucking slows down, try to burp her. Breastfed babies don't always need to burp, especially in the first few days. Then, offer her the second breast. She may take it if she's still hungry. At the next feeding, switch the side that you start on to make sure each breast is getting the same amount of stimulation. In the first weeks, feeding your baby on both breasts and burping her usually takes around 30 to 45 minutes, but can vary. Breastfeeding goes faster as she gets better at it. It is normal for babies to sleep a lot during the first 2 or 3 days of life. But if your baby is not feeding at least 8 times in 24 hours, you'll need to wake her up to eat. Help her wake up by holding her skin to skin, changing her diaper, trying a different feeding position, or switching breasts. Remember, your milk supply depends on how often and how well your baby breastfeeds. It's also normal for a baby to cluster feed.
Wow, she's really feeding a lot, huh?
This is when she eats less often at one time of day, and then more often at another, usually evenings. Cluster feedings are healthy as long as she's eating at least 8 times in 24 hours. Many new moms wonder if their baby is getting enough milk. One way to tell is by noticing how you both feel after a feeding. Your breast should feel lighter and softer, and your baby should seem content and satisfied, not fussy or showing signs of hunger. A baby who is getting enough milk should also have several periods of being alert and calm every day. Also, your baby is probably getting enough milk if she is eating at least 8 to 12 times in 24 hours, and you can see and hear her sucking and swallowing after your mature milk comes in. On some days, it's natural for your baby to eat more often than she usually does.
Last night, she was nursing frequently, and I was a little concerned that I was going to run out of milk because she just kept, eating and eating, and I was getting smaller. But I did read that your body will produce enough milk, and if you just